The Bible says you are the priest of your home. You need the rod and you need the staff. And that brings the aspect of prayer. If you don't pray and lead prayer and make sure prayer happens in your world, in your home, it will turn into a tent of robbers. And you know who the two robbers are. What do robbers do? They come and rob joy. They rob love. You stayed with the same woman for 10, 15, 20 years, and all of a sudden you want to fight. The thief comes when people sleep. Hit the shepherd, scatter the sheep. How does the enemy hit the shepherd? Make sure the leader, the father, the pastor, the visionary, the MD, the person who carries the vision sleeps. Hit the shepherd. Make sure they slumber. Make sure they stop their responsibility. Then the enemy attacks, and you realize your wife, your children, your business are going down. Why? The shepherd is no longer on duty, praying. I don't know about you, but I tend to look at the language of David, and it sounds more like prayer than fighting. Listen to what David says. He says, the Lord, he says, a lion one day attacked me. I took it by my hands and slew it. A bear came along the way. I snatched the lamb and killed it. And then he says, the Lord who delivered me from the jaws of a lion and the mouth of a bear will deliver me. That sounds like a shepherd. To me, that sounds more like prayer than fighting. Because David is saying, a transaction called fight without a transaction called prayer will translate me into meat for the birds of the air. If you engage Goliath literally, if you engage the world literally before you transact business in the place of prayer, the world will consume you. Our victory is found in the closet, and the manifestation is in the public. He says, get to your closet and transact business with your Father in secret, who will give you the manifestation in the public. Ladies and gentlemen, prayer is an atmosphere where grace is transacted. Now listen, while we are praying together, prayer is still personal. We can't pray together more than personal praying. Public corporate praying can never substitute personal prayer. We cannot pray together. I know the Bible says one chases 1,000, two puts 10,000 to flight. But make sure the two were able to do the one. No two lazy characters. No, it must be the one who can chase 1,000 each so that they come together to chase 10,000. But if you bring one that chases 1,000 plus one who chases nothing. Listen, after you send an SMS and say, pray for me, please stand with me. After you build a prayer group and prayer partners, remember, it is your personal transaction. You need to pray. I want to recommend to you, prayer makes you conducive for the flow of grace. It makes you a conduit for the flow of grace. It allows you to flow with the frequency of grace. Prayer makes you easy for the grace of God to flow through you. Prayer fights your battles before you show up. Prayer disarms your enemy before you can release the first storm. Prayer paves the way before you begin the journey. Prayer is a master key to any door you want to enter. Prayer relates with where you're going to. By the time you come in, you are celebrated. Prayer makes a way where there seems to be none. If you want to flow with the grace of God, prayer creates the atmosphere for the flow of grace. I pray tonight. I pray for my viewers who are watching on TV. There is no challenge beyond prayer. There is no obstacle beyond prayer. There is no distance beyond prayer. There is no pain beyond prayer. Prayer brings the atmosphere of heaven into an earthly location and creates a conducive atmosphere where the earthly receives the divine. I want to recommend to you, prayer should not be a request, should not be a reminder, should not be forced. It should be your culture. It should be part of your DNA. It should be your redemptive principle. It should be the culture of those who are in faith. When you stop prayer, everything becomes attractive. Everything becomes sweet. Your ears can entertain anything. Your eyes can see anything. Your hands can touch anything. Prayer sieves that which is not right from your life. Prayer aligns relationships. Prayer creates a conducive atmosphere where you can always walk with God. How many are saying tonight, Lord, give me the grace to pray? Lift it up. Hallelujah. Nafsi yangu ya kutamani, yaona Come on, lift your hands. Let's say it together. Let's say it again. Yakutaman. Lift one of your hands, let's say it again. Yakutaman. Just before I release you, look at me, open your eyes. Look at me, those who standing, keep standing. Listen. Whether you know it or not, when everything is done, When everything has collapsed, remember, prayer always remains. Even when you don't value it, when you reach your dead end and you have nowhere to turn to, most of the time when you turn around, you realize prayer is still on. I want to recommend to you from a voice of a father, never entertain anything that takes away your prayer. Listen, when you are in prison like Paul and Silas, when everything is locked away, the only thing that becomes a remedy is prayer. When you've lost your throne like David and you are running away right in the bush, the only remedy is prayer. When you're going through frustration and you're tired like Elijah, the only remedy is prayer. To manage the 3 million Israelites into the promised land, and you are weak as a human being, the only remedy as Moses is prayer. When you reach your dead end like Jesus and you almost giving up, the only remedy is prayer. Remember, all through the Bible, whenever you prayed, angels of comfort are always sent. When Paul and Silas and Peter and the rest are locked in prison, there is no lawyer, there is no defense, there is nowhere to run to. The master is gone to heaven. The only remedy is prayer. Don't wait till the end before you realize it. Realize it before you begin the journey. Stand on your feet.